Now you want to make it narrow, but not too narrow, because narrowness also weakens the whole thing. Right, so narrow is good, but not too narrow. How do you know if it's too narrow? If it breaks. So that means you just try again. Try to run a flake into there, but it didn't work. So that tells me that the edge is not going to be that strong. For one, it gets thin. When the edge is not strong, as you're thinning, you're not going to be able to thin it. Okay? There's no way around it. You got to have a strong edge to generate big flakes when you're thinning. Because thinning requires you to go halfway or more across the piece. Those are big flakes, relatively speaking. Going halfway across is not a small flake. Okay? Here we go. Let's see if I can hit this extremely hard without breaking it. And there we go. It did skin it off. So that was the hardest hit through the whole process. Okay, and luckily it was enough force to skin that off without making it too thin in the middle. Okay? It's not too thin in the middle. Because I still got to wipe off this original surface. I don't want it too thin. So just cleaning it up a little bit more. Alright, so now I'm going to focus on the other side. Yes? Yeah. Okay, so that's that side. Let's do the other side. And again, making it more narrow is going to help. So I'm going to take off material by hitting downward, so that moves the edge that way. And I'm using the Abrader as a hammerstone. Because it's faster than using, for example, like a pressure flaker to get the edge to go that way. You know, if I use a pressure flaker, I can pressure flake downward and then strike. We'll try to see how this works first. We'll try and see how this works first. That did not work. I'm having to hit it pretty hard. And the edge is not very strong. So we may not be able to get this thin down easily. So I grind it more than I did before. And get right up next to that obstacle. I'm going to switch down to a smaller diameter to focus more force in one area. See if I can pop that little mess off of there by focusing and concentrating the force with mostly a downward strike. Yeah. Downward because I was not looking for a long flake. I just want to get that out of the way. So now I'm going to do downward strikes just to clean up the edge, so to speak. There does seem to be a slight difference in the different colors. Which is not good. Because it presents obstacles that normally wouldn't happen. Yeah, even with a hard strike. See, obstacles like that are very difficult to remove. So you just, it ruins your whole profile. You got to get right up next to that obstacle. Because you can't approach it from that side. It's too far away. And it's too thin. This side, there's step fractures in your way, so you're not going to be able to get under it because it's, again, too thin. If you get up right next to it, you can do a downward flake with a short flake and blast that away. And hopefully none of that crunchiness happens anywhere else. Okay, so there it goes. I was able to do a downward flake to get rid of that. So let's just keep trimming around. Let's see what I can do. It does not look all that promising, actually. If this tan color is going to be different than this gray, it's going to look kind of steppy. And I'm just going to have to live with steppiness. Well, that blasted through there, so that's not too bad. Let's see if I can continue to blast these flakes off with a lot of force. What's good is that I don't see any cracking going on here in the initiation, which is good. So I can hit hard without worrying too much about cracking the edge. Cracking the edge is always a bad thing, and it happens a lot with stone. But this might be holding together better than a low-grade stone. How would I rate this on a scale of 1 to 10? Right now, about a 4 or 5. If I can skin this off and keep width, the rating goes up a point. So instead of a 4 like it is now, I'd say it was a 5. If I can skin this off without it looking really bad, without a lot of stepping and stuff, like this, I can see a little bit of crunchiness and stepping going on. If there's not too much of that, I can skin that off, it'll be about a 5 on a scale of 1 to 10. Yeah. If I can sharpen the edge, well, it'll go up to about a 6. Yeah. I'm still using the smaller diameter to focus the forces. So that's about the longest I can generate on a flake length, and that is less than an inch. That's like 3/4 of an inch. So I thought this was going to be easier than that side, but it looks like maybe not. We'll see. It also could be because it's a smaller diameter, and I'm not hitting it as hard, I guess. I don't know. Little bitty subtle things can make a big difference in how far the flakes travel. Let's see. Well, that's not too bad. But you can see, this is what I mean by steppiness. If there's not too much of that, if I can clear that off, it won't be too bad. But yeah, this tan stuff is a little more steppy than the gray stuff. It's a little bit too wide for the tan stuff. So if I wanted to make it look nice and smooth, I would have to narrow it down more. Yeah. I thought it was going to be relatively easy to skin this off, because at first it seemed pretty straightforward, right? But no, the edges are thin, so oh, that's not bad. That's not bad. But yeah, it's steppiness. So from here it's just like a rock now. Okay? Just like a regular rock. The hard part comes when you're trying to thin it. That was actually the easy part. Now, if I want to thin it further than this, that's the hard part. Okay, so I was able to generate a flake that was, what is it, an inch. But that may have been luck, but also got to take into consideration the step fracturing. Yeah, so from here on in, it's just like a regular rock. I would say, let me try sharpening a little bit. I would say it's about a 5 on a scale of 1 to 10. If it sharpens well, I'll upgrade it to a 6. It's actually pretty easy to pressure flake. Yeah, it's not too bad. I'm going to try that direction too. And then I'll see how sharp it is. Mostly downward pressure near the tip. Yeah, it's not too bad as far as pressure flaking goes. All right, let's see. Let's try to finish the sharpening. Yep, the gray stuff works better than the tan stuff. Which is handy because it's right in the middle. Yeah, so if you can skin off the tan stuff off on both sides, the gray stuff is thick enough to where you're not exceedingly thin, and it sharpens up okay. Yeah, it's not bad. It crushes a little bit, so you'll have to kind of use a sharper pressure flaker so you can create a sawtooth effect, so you get that sharpness. It's gonna be kind of jaggedy. If you have a fat pressure flaker, I have a feeling it's just gonna smash and crush the edge. But you can pick at it with a sharper pressure flaker and get that sawtooth edge, and it's relatively sharp, so it's not too bad. I guess I will upgrade it to about a 5.5. It feels like it gets dull right away. As I brush against it, it gets duller and duller. Yeah, so it doesn't stay sharp. Just rubbing it with my finger makes it dull, so it doesn't stay sharp. But at least the pressure flakes okay. So I would give it like a 5.5 on a scale of 1 to 10. Yeah. Alrighty. Well, some might say, try notching it, dude. Try notching it before you go, because my life is centered around notching. Where's my notcher? Here it is. Okay, so your life is centered around notching. Pretty much like mine too. Yeah, I know. Let's see if it notches. It notches. It does. Oh yeah. Crunching them in works good. And I can use a spatula tool on the edge. Yes. Yes. it does respond to this as well as the rounded pressure flaker. Yeah, so it's not bad as far as pressure flaking goes. So as far as rating, instead of being a 4, it's like a 5. And then since it does sharpen also, it's like a 5.5. And notching, it does notch, but I rarely upgrade something by its ability to notch. I'll usually downgrade it. Yeah, like if the bar blows away really easily like there, I might downgrade it slightly, but it does notch through thick area, not with much difficulty. It's not that hard to notch through that thick area. Yeah, let's see what the Notch-O-Matic does. Hold on, let me start the other side. I have a feeling the Notch-O-Matic's going to blow away too much material, but you never know. Yikes. The notching blows away a lot of material with just the spatula tool. Okay, let's see what the Notch-O-Matic does.